wasn't just me. He just called me a chlamydian, didn't he? That is what he actually didn't say I was the next comedian. He said, I found patient 0 for chlamydia in Iceland. It's this microphone. This microphone is where it all started. It's where it all began. I have to say, unfortunately, for like 2/3 of you who came in after the show started, all of my jokes are going to be about shit that people already said, and I'm going to make fun of them. So you won't know anything that I was going to say. It's nothing but callbacks to earlier jokes. There's people here, right where you're sitting, who are from Michigan, and I'm glad those fuckers left, because based on what they said, they're going back to the States the same day I am, and that is going to be a fucking awkward flight if I'm not funny. Like, I don't want to sit for 5 hours with just like staring at each other, like, and then you had to stay from Australia, which is the least funny country. No, actually, New Zealand is the least funny. That's what you pissed me off, because when this comedian made his jokes about sheep DNA, you said New Zealand, you said Kiwis faster than I could get up on stage and say it. That was the obvious worst. You ruined it for me. They said Americans go to every country and ruin the culture. Actually, they didn't do that to Australia. The Australians did it for us. We didn't have to do anything there. That's what it's going to be like. It's very weird for me. This is every comedian that was up here tonight. Mine is the only name I can pronounce. I don't know anybody's name who was on the show before me. It's also weird having like a second level of audience, so I don't know who to pay attention to. I feel like I should say all the setups to my jokes up here, and then all the punchlines will be down here. I can have like a rhythm where I can kind of at least get some rhythm going like this. They're trying to find out who's couples, and no one in this room gives a fuck, so no one would answer. So you're with a lovely young lady. Have you been together for a while? You're a couple? How long? Too long? Well, to any young people in this room who think there is still a chance for love in your life, I've been married for over 20 years myself, and I'm gonna, actually my wife is in the room right now. Please make some noise. I've been married for 20 years. You're actually helping me get laid right now. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Well, I appreciate, yeah. If you want to, you look like a young couple, or is that your mom? I don't know what's going on. It's Iceland. Yeah, you look beautiful. You're beautiful, of course. If you want to keep a romance alive in your relationship, it takes effort. You have some effort into your love life. For example, my wife and I, we've been experimenting lately with rough sex. Any rough sex enthusiasts in this bookstore right now? Anyone? Well, sir, I knew you were. I saw you online. My wife and I started experimenting with rough sex. Now I shake her when I wake her up. Honey, wake up. It's my birthday, you promised. Wake up. It's me, my wife, we have 3 kids. That means there's 5. Iceland has a good public school system, so I guess you can do, I don't know about, sure, you explain to me, never mind. It's 5, okay. I found out I was the 5th most important member of our family, which is okay, we're family, we love each other, it's not a competition. The problem is it got worse. My wife got a pet rabbit. Right now I'm the 6th most important person in our family. Beat by a hair. Beat by a hair. Come on, people, that's a joke. Wait. You have hairs in Australia, you know. I mean, not here, but you have them in Australia. So, you know. It's a bad sign if the gentleman smiles, but the woman with the gentleman laughs. I've caused trouble. I don't know what's going on now. so I hope it's me who gets beaten up, because it's not how it should be. I don't know, it's me, my wife. I was trying to think, Iceland has the long days. It's the beginning of summer, and as a comedian, I didn't like that. I was worried about comedy. I think in the States, comedy should be done after dark. The daylight is not normal, because you should be ashamed when you do comedy. Like, there should be shame involved. No one should be proud. People come to bookstores to feel pride. You're in a bookstore. No one buys books anymore, but you just feel proud of yourself for being in a bookstore. So I don't know about this life. So I thought I should do like a book smart, nerdy type of joke. Maybe that would fit the environment. You're either tired or skeptical. I don't know. But thank you for being here. It's like the whole crowd rotated, like half left and a whole new half came in. So I'm glad that you did come in, whatever happens for the next 5 minutes. I am a big nerd, and I don't know if you can't tell that just by looking, but it's true. For example, I love science fiction stories about time travel. I think that is a cool concept for a story. It could be a Terminator, Back to the Future, Doctor Who, anything with time travel. It's just a cool story idea. Problem is if you know philosophy or physics or something, like time travel is probably impossible because you would create paradoxes. Like you go back in time and save your girlfriend from getting killed, and then in the future there'd be no reason to build a time machine. That's a paradox. That's in some of these books what a paradox is. So that's when I figured, if you build a time machine, all you can do is go back in time and annoy people. Like I like to build a time machine, go back in time, and hide Mussolini's train schedules. He hated that. I have one joke for each of you. That was yours. I think I have time to get to everyone in the room. I like to go back in time and tell the actor who played Jar Jar Binks, sure, use a Jamaican accent. That makes sense. Why wouldn't they have Jamaican accents on his planet? That makes sense. Here's something I've noticed. I don't know if there's any historians maybe in the room, but every few years historians discover something new about Hitler's junk. Like first they used to say that he only had one testicle. And then a few years later they said that he was infertile and couldn't have children. A few years later they said that he was hooked to the left. Like that. I think future Jerry has invented a time machine, and I just go back in time and kick Hitler in the nuts. That's what I'm doing. That's for the Holocaust. This one's for World War II. Here's one for ruining the short stash. Bang! Like that. I know we're having a good time making fun of Eckert being old. I am actually older than Eckert, a little bit. I'm old enough that I saw the first Star Wars movie in the cinema. Yes, that's so. Did you as well? So you and me were the ones who saw it. I don't know, it might not have gotten to Australia yet, but there's this really big movie called Star Wars. You're going to love it. I don't really feel like it's a comedy show unless there's a chance I could get beaten up after the comedy show. And if anyone's going to beat me up, please you beat me up. I don't want him to beat me up. I'd rather have you. I think it would be a fair fight. I'm a pacifist. You would win. Anyway. But yeah, I love the Star Wars is a perfect name. Star Wars is like a great name for an action science fiction movie that any like an 8, 9-year-old kid would want to go and see. But George Lucas fucked that movie up by changing its name. It's not called Star Wars anymore, right? You know what its actual real title is? We'll find out. Literally no other nerds in the room apparently. This joke's gonna work great. What do you got for me? Get out. Star Trek. Fuck is the matter with you? No, it's now called A New Hope. Because all the movies are called like Star Wars series in each movie. So he actually changed the name from Star Wars to A New Hope. These gentlemen love Star Wars. That's when they heard me talking about Star Wars. They immediately came in. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. A New Hope, however, is a terrible name for a science fiction movie. No 8-year-old child wants to go see a movie called A New Hope. New Hope would be a better title for a movie starring Sandra Bullock, who returns home to take care of her mother with Alzheimer's. That's what A New Hope should be about. I'm saying. I'm visiting Iceland. I'm having a great time. I was a little disappointed when I discovered that opid does not mean opioid. Going in the store, there's a pharmacy that had a big sign that said opid. And opid said, get the fuck out. Turns out they're completely different things, I guess. So, I'll tell you a couple more short, quick jokes, and then we'll return to our sane lives here. So I tell you, I do travel a lot. I used to live in New Zealand. I've been to Australia many times. I love both countries. I've been other places. I lived in Japan for many years. I have a lot of stories and jokes about Japan. I'm just going to tell you one that I can think of off the top of my head. I lived in Japan for 4 years, and as I tell my friends, how'd you like living in Japan? I liked it well enough to live there for 4 years, not well enough to live there for 5 years. And one of the things that used to really get on my nerves after a couple of years is I was there teaching English, and that's if I got out of college, hey, I'll go live in Japan and teach English. That's cool. What happens is, every year, a new bunch of English teachers show up, like the FOB English teachers. That's a fresh off the boat. After a couple of years, those fuckers got on my nerves because they were too excited about this stupid shit. There was one guy at a party, he was just FOB English teacher, right out of college, and he's like, did you know they take their shoes off when they go into their house? And you know they eat raw sushi with the chopstick? They bow. I went into a place and they bowed. And I said, yes, I know they take their shoes off when they go inside, bow and eat sushi, because you're in fucking Japan. That is what they do in Japan. Read a book. See, I planned ahead to tell that joke because I'm in a bookstore. See? That was premeditated. That's another callback to earlier. Okay, sorry. I will end on this little story. I like this story because it's about a generation gap. And here's how it works. When I was 13 years old, right now I have a 13-year-old son. If you could see his bedroom, you'd see the difference. Because when I was 13 years old, here we go, so it's going to be just for you and me, I can see that already. I used to have a poster of Farrah Fawcett in my bedroom. You know the one, right? The one in the sexy bikini with the nipples, right? That's, go home, Google that, send me $5. You can Venmo me or something. You want to know if you don't know. Anyway, that's what I had. I had the sexy Farrah Fawcett swimsuit edition. Farrah Fawcett, right. I told you I was old. Deal with it. Right now, my 13-year-old son in his bedroom has a poster of Pikachu. Pikachu! I know! I was standing there staring at that thing going, I'm not even entirely sure what the fuck a Pikachu is. And I can only hope he's not using it for the same thing I use Farrah Fawcett. My name's Sherry Jaffe. Thanks for coming out tonight. I really appreciate you.